Today, over 60% of the global internet is no longer human. You aren't just scrolling through an organic social media feed. You are navigating a digital simulation designed by algorithms. Have you ever scrolled through your feed late at night and felt an unsettling sensation that something was fundamentally wrong? You see thousands of comments under a trending post, yet almost every single one sounds vaguely familiar. The phrasing is formulaic, the arguments repeat the exact same template, and the profile pictures look slightly too symmetrical. You post a thought, and within seconds, you receive a wave of automated likes and generic replies. But instead of feeling connected, you feel entirely alone. In 2021, an obscure theory began circulating across online forums, the dead internet theory. It claimed that the organic, human-driven web we knew in the 2000s died around 2016, quietly replaced by an artificial architecture run by algorithms, web crawlers, and AI bots. At first, mainstream commentators dismissed the dead internet theory as paranoid internet folklore. But as artificial intelligence exploded into the public domain, cybersecurity researchers began analyzing actual global traffic data. What they uncovered was alarming. According to annual bad bot reports from security firms like Imperva, over 47% of all global internet traffic is currently bad bots. When you add legitimate crawlers, automated scripts, and generative AI scrapers, non-human entities account for nearly 2/3 of the web. Millions of accounts are automated bots talking to other automated bots, training each other on synthetic data. But the most disturbing aspect of this shift is not the code itself. It is what this artificial architecture is actively doing to the human brain. To understand why an artificial internet alters our psychology, we have to look back at the work of behavioral psychologist B.F. Skinner. In the mid-20th century, Skinner placed pigeons and rats inside isolated testing chambers, now known as Skinner boxes. He discovered that if a lever delivered food every single time, the animal pushed it only when hungry. But if the lever delivered food unpredictably, a system known as a variable ratio reinforcement schedule, the animal became obsessively addicted, pushing the lever hundreds of times an hour. Human brains evolved over millions of years to seek social acknowledgement as a vital survival signal. In our ancestral environments, being seen and validated by the tribe meant safety and shared resources. Social media platforms took Skinner's variable reward mechanism and digitized it through notifications, likes, retweets, and comments. But in a synthetic web, the lever is no longer operated by other human beings. It is operated by automated algorithms designed to maximize time on screen. When an AI bot or an algorithmic account likes your post or replies with an emotionally charged comment, your brain releases dopamine in the exact same manner as if a real human had acknowledged you. The human nervous system cannot biologically distinguish between organic human validation and synthetic machine feedback. Over time, your neurochemistry is being conditioned by non-conscious lines of code, training your behavior to seek approval from a digital void. This artificial crowding creates a fascinating parallel to one of the most disturbing behavioral experiments in history, John B. Calhoun's Universe 25. In 1968, Calhoun constructed a rodent paradise with unlimited food, water, and shelter, but constrained physical space. As the population peaked, the social structure completely collapsed. Despite having all physical needs met, the mice experienced severe behavioral sinks. Hyperaggression spiked, maternal instincts disappeared, and a distinct subgroup emerged that Calhoun called the beautiful ones. These mice stopped all social interactions, courtship, and territorial defense. They withdrew into isolated corners, spending their entire lives grooming their pristine fur and eating in complete solitude, completely detached from the collapse surrounding them. Today, we are witnessing the emergence of a digital Universe 25. Online, we possess unlimited information, instant entertainment, and constant artificial stimulation. Yet, because the vast majority of online interactions lack authentic human warmth, users are suffering from severe social fatigue. When every comment section is flooded with artificial rage bait, bot-driven arguments, and synthetic personas, the human brain perceives the digital environment as hostile and overwhelming. In response, millions of individuals are becoming the modern equivalent of Calhoun's beautiful ones, withdrawing into passive lurker states illuminated only by screen glow in dark rooms, avoiding real-world social risks while suffering from unprecedented levels of digital isolation. As the boundary between human and machine blurs online, a psychological phenomenon known as anthropomorphic distortion takes hold. Simply put, This is what happens when we start treating machines like humans, and humans like code. Humans naturally assign human motives and emotions to non-human entities. People form deep parasocial relationships with AI chatbots, seeking emotional comfort from language models programmed to mirror their desires. Paradoxically, as we desensitize ourselves online, we begin doing the reverse, treating real human beings like bots. Because digital communication strips away facial expressions, vocal inflections, and body language, we reduce other human participants to text on a screen, disposable nodes to be argued with, muted, or attacked without empathy. This shift causes rapid atrophy of our real-world social stamina. Evolutionary neuroscientists have shown that human empathy relies heavily on mirror neurons, specialized brain cells that fire both when we perform an action and when we observe someone else performing it. Mirror neurons require real-time visual, auditory, and physical cues to foster true emotional resonance. When human interactions are replaced by synthetic text streams curated by algorithms, our mirror neuron pathways receive zero nourishment. We become socially clumsy, easily overwhelmed by face-to-face conflict, and increasingly prone to anxiety when deprived of a screen. Screen deprivation anxiety isolates us in biological space. But if our social structure is collapsing like Calhoun's mice, who is profiting from this synthetic paradise? The answer lies in what researcher Tim Hwang described as the subprime attention crisis. Much like the subprime mortgage crisis of 2008, where financial institutions traded worthless assets, the digital economy is currently trading attention metrics generated by bots and ghost accounts. Advertisers pay billions to show ads to synthetic profiles, while users consume content designed by algorithms to appease other algorithms. We are inhabiting an echo chamber where machines generate content for machines, while human beings sit in the middle, paying with their finite mental health and attention spans. The dead internet theory is not a call to despair, but a diagnostic tool for modern consciousness. The first step in breaking out of an artificial loop is developing digital friction. We must train ourselves to recognize when our emotional reactions are being manipulated by synthetic outrage. When you feel a sudden surge of anger or validation online, pause and ask yourself, is this reaction serving my growth, or is it feeding an engagement metric designed by code? To preserve human empathy, we must deliberately reintroduce biological reality into our lives. Seek out physical communities where eye contact, shared physical spaces, and unscripted conversations exist. Value the messy, unpredictable nature of real human relationships over the polished, hyper-optimized feedback of digital algorithms. The web may be increasingly synthetic, but your consciousness is not. Biological consciousness remains grounded in human physical reality. Protecting your mind requires stepping back from the digital screen. To prove you are not a bot reading this right now, comment something imperfectly human down below, a specific memory, a flaw, or a feeling that code could never simulate. That single comment breaks the artificial loop. And if you want to understand the unseen mechanics of human nature and protect your mind from invisible psychological loops, subscribe to Behavior Loop. We decode behavioral science and human anomalies every single week. The internet was built to connect human minds across the globe. Do not let it become the cage that isolates yours. Recognize where the algorithm ends and where you begin. Decouple your consciousness from synthetic feedback loops. Reclaim real-world human connection and biological reality.